So the question is, what does it take to survive 38 years in Jewish communal work as a leader?
Patience, chutzpah,
a good therapist and a lot of Valium.
I don't know how the hell he did it.
People say you need 38 years at a Jewish agency like you need a Lachenkup.
He must have had 6,432 Jewish board members in his time here.
A hole in the head.
All those Jews, it must have been 30,000 opinions. How did he do it?
I have to give one word that describes Ken the man. The first thing that comes to my mind is kvetch, and that is just the wrong word completely.
Authentic.
Creative.
commitment. He wears great glasses.
He is very well dressed.
Very smart, very well read.
The mouth never stops moving.
Most people think Ken's Jewish.
Ken's New York personality is used so effectively, like a surgical knife.
He has a way with people that is astounding.
He can do things with eyebrows that get across a whole range of emotions.
Ken Weinberg eats, lives, and breathes for the goodwill of others.
He's just Ken.
Ken Weinberg, the man, the myth, the Mensch. Let's be honest, I think myth is there because of the alliteration.
As most people know, Ken was born and raised in New York.
He's told us what he was like as a kid. He was heavily neurotic, and I think he listened a lot to what his mom said.
He's written a diary since he was a young boy, and I think every other page was, I think I'm going to die today.
When Ken was growing up in Queens, I would imagine he was most interested in program development. I don't think he was going to Met games or Yankee games.
He was telling me about having seen Bob Dylan in a small cafe at the Village when he was a kid, and he kind of gained my deep admiration from that point on.
After leaving New York and going to Santa Barbara to work with senior citizens in the Jewish community, he really decided how he wanted to direct his life.
In 1975, when Ken came as an intern to Jewish Family Service, we were a very small agency of half a dozen social workers. It was a delight to be his supervisor because he was a very conscientious, hard-working young man. His talent for getting along with lots of people, his sense of humor, seeing him through probably some rough times.
It was a trying time.
Ken essentially ran the show in the agency as director of professional services.
He was an up-and-comer.
He just gave the feeling, just as he does now, that he's capable, compassionate, had a vision. It really was not difficult for me to see him as the executive director.
My first day on the job was actually the first day I met Ken. I heard this bellowing from down the hallway. We were in Harvard Avenue at that point. Mrs. G, it's Ken. What? Ken Weinberg. Weinberg, I want you to have a good Shabbos. It's Ken. That was my first introduction, and first introduction to Jewish Family Service, and I began to seriously wonder what I was doing there.
It's not a conscious thing. We know that we are supposed to assist one another. It's not debatable. You don't have to give it a lot of thought. It's really very nice because you don't have to think a lot about it. You just have to do it.
Ken had a certain leadership style that just evoked the best you could do.
Ken truly engendered loyalty. We were all committed to him, to JFS, and to what he was trying to accomplish.
I think one of Ken's greatest strengths is that he listens.
He has his way of making you feel like what you have to say is important and vital.
We can have a different view on a certain situation. It's with respect and dignity, which is so lacking today.
And then he's willing to change his opinion or his way of doing things.
He quickly learned the most efficient, effective way to do this job was to put a sign on his back every day that simply said, "I'm sorry."
I think that's what has allowed him to be so effective.
Ken and I used to run Green Lake, and he'd show up and he kind of looked like he was wearing a burqa made out of fleece. I didn't know how anybody could kvetch and run at the same time.
In private, Ken can kvetch like the best of us.
He is easily frustrated.
It didn't stop.
You're killing me slowly every day. Just take me outside and shoot me.
There was a constant stream.
That probably keeps him on balance.
Kept us both entertained, him talking and me listening.
Really, what has helped him with this survival is his sense of humor.
He's very funny.
He's always got a story.
If I were to describe Ken's sense of humor, I would sort of put it as a blend between Yiddish theater and truck driver.
This guy could do stand-up. He could actually have been paid for doing stand-up.
Well, I'm not big into the joke department, but we have had our light moments together.
Ken is very self-deprecating, which is part of his charm.
He is the butt of the joke, or the moral of the story. When I first met Ken, he didn't have the slightest idea how to do any fundraising, and it has been a huge evolution.
As a fundraiser, Ken is a master.
Ken is actually a capitalist pig in disguise.
Ken is the best fundraiser that I have ever known.
This guy could get money from a turnip.
He is honest, and he talks about a real need.
His love and dedication to his work comes through when he is soliciting financial help.
He reached into his pocket, Ken, and he pulled out like a little piece of paper. And that little piece of paper had a lot on that little piece of paper. Pushed it towards us and he said, "We'd like you to take leadership on this incredible opportunity to make a difference in the city of Seattle."
His superpower always came from being able to make all of us feel that we have a responsibility.
People saying, yes, I'll give you $1 million, I think is less about Ken and more about the agency and the work that it does, which of course reflects Ken.
The understated conservative CEO of Jewish Family Service has another side that comes out in his fashionista manner.
He's probably the best dressed Jewish professional on the planet.
He always has a very eclectic but very personal look about him, and that's what makes it so much fun helping him over the years.
He, I know, keeps up on sales in the finer shops in Seattle.
He always finds that gem. But then that first question is, "Paul, is it going on sale? Can you hide it for me? Because you know I can't spend this much."
Those funny glasses that he wears, those are the window into his head.
When Ken walks into a room, you see his glasses before you actually see him.
He is this person most of the time, but in his head, he's that person behind the glasses.
I think that leadership starts at the top, that you need somebody with a vision.
He was always in the forefront.
You know, as the tradition says, it's the ability to see what will become before it's been born.
Coming up with services for things that many people believed that Jews didn't have difficulties with. Addictions, domestic violence, gay, lesbian, transgender issues.
You know, the JFS has become a real model and a light for a lot of folks across the country who are trying to come up with innovative and unique ways to serve both the Jewish community but beyond the Jewish community.
Whether it's money, your time, your expertise, he has been able to rally so many people.
He gives you the torch and allows you an opportunity to become part of this greater good.
That's why every year when you go to that luncheon, it gets bigger and bigger.
He has grown to become the stabilizing factor in our community in so many ways.
Ken has taken Jewish Family Service from a social service agency to really being the heart and soul of the Jewish community in Seattle. And how do you thank a guy for doing something like that?
It's beyond what you would identify as a job. It's a calling.
Ken, I wish you success in learning how to retire. I'm not convinced you can do it.
I wish you and Alberta an amazing journey on this next phase of your life.
I have a marvelous time in Europe.
You will be fortunate in many ways. You have the mazel.
This is your opportunity to recapture the rebel of your youth.
I look forward to us getting together even more now than before.
You are leaving a huge void in my life.
And thank you for being the guiding light for all of us to follow.
The community wouldn't be what it is without you.
I'm gonna miss you a lot. Not really.